YouTube, what is up, my YouTube? It is Lonz with the low quality camera back at it. Nah, I'm just talking. But today we're gonna be talking about export settings and how to get the best quality for the exports, as well as a few other things today. So one thing I definitely want to focus on is leases. And when it comes to leasing, there's a few things you have to keep in mind. You know, some people tend to sell the mp3 leases. I'm talking a little bit close to my mic for you guys. Make sure you leave a thumbs up if you enjoy that. But you know, when it comes to leases, there's mp3 leases, wave leases, and of course exclusive, which is, in my opinion, I think of it as stems. So when it comes to leasing, me personally, I sell my mp3s for about 30, you know, just depending on, you know, just $30 for a little mp3 lease. Make sure you give me, it's up to you guys. I tell them 20% on distro kit as well, if they ever post it for distro. That's just my agreement I usually have. I type it up in email as well, that way we have it, you know, back and forth. For the waves, I typically charge about $100, and for my leases, they can go anywhere from $200 to $350. So the first thing you want to go ahead and look at when you actually want to get ready to export is you want to go ahead and make your way over to your mixer tracks. Make sure everything is laid out that you want to be exported. This is going to be extremely important in the end. I mean, personally, I think that if you're a producer, you should be practicing mixing and mastering, you know, your own sounds. Find someone you think is good, and of course, take their advice. That's probably the best advice I could give you, because obviously you won't be able to get access to the highest quality people in the world. And even if you did, you probably wouldn't understand everything they did and why. So just do what you can, really, you know, but practice your mixing. But anyway, it's important that this is laid out this way. The next thing you want to do is go to export settings. I'm not sure if it's showing you guys, but I want to scroll down to my the word export, hover over mp3 and click on that. What that's going to do is it's going to give me the option to save my file. It's going to give me a default file name, and it's going to give me the option to save it. At this point, you can create a new folder, which you would just name, you know, new beats or beats for the week, or however you want to set that up, and you would export that into that folder. Now, when it comes to the mp3s and the WAV files, the bitrate it differentiates a little bit as well as the quality. So the WAV quality is a higher quality than the mp3. With that being said, that's, you know, why there's a difference in price. The waves actually tend to cost more. Every engineer I've talked to or work with says, you know, technically, you know, the wave is a little bit better. They can do a little bit more. It's a little bit more flexible and movable and coachable, in the sense of like you can manipulate it more when you put it into the mixer compared to an mp3. So that's just a little bit of a difference. And whenever you go to, let's say, since stems, someone buys an exclusive or you don't have it up on your website, you go to wave, and then you would force it to save as a, we'll split the mixer tracks. What that would do is it would export every single sound that's laid out inside of your mixer individually. That way the engineer or wherever, you know, they take it, or maybe them themselves if they're skilled, I don't really care, but they can mix the vocal with every single instrument perfectly, and then, you know, we can get a real nice mix as long as everything is good to go. Keep in mind, if you're just all over the place, they're not going to buy the beat, they're not going to want to use it. So make sure you have a good beat, obviously, in the first place. And that's pretty much going to be the three options that they have for exporting, and you know, why you'd want to choose them. As to how to actually export, you would simply press the file button on the top left, hover over to export. You have 5 options. You have zip loop package, wave files, mp3 file, OGG file, FLAC file, and MIDI file. I wouldn't worry about any of the other ones. If you guys want a video on what MIDI files are and other options, leave a comments below. But for the main focus, which is selling leases, in my opinion, and making a profit off of your beats, as well as enjoying to make your craft and being able to get it out to the world, is going to be mp3 and the wave file. And those are the two differences. Obviously, the wave is going to be able to give you the higher quality. You can split the mixer tracks inside of the wave file to get each instrument high quality. Keep in mind, guys, you can do the same thing for the mp3 It's just going to be, you know, every instrument an mp3. I guess the engineer could still work with it, but obviously they're always going to prefer the WAV file. That's the differences. That's how you can use them, and that's how you can access them as well. I just want to make sure that you guys were getting all of this down. That way we can all make sure that we're getting our beats everywhere we need to be, and of course that we're expanding. But with that being said, if you enjoyed the video, if you thought this was great content, make sure you leave a like and subscribe below. It's lonzetheking. I also dropped a loop kit and a drum kit. I got over 6 million plays just on songs I've produced this year. Definitely want you guys to be getting paid off of your streams and living it up. So make sure you get my drum kit as well. See you guys in the next video. Till then.